Shake a sugar shaker, what a thrill. Jeepers, I'm a sugar pill. Shake a sugar shaker, you can too. Sugar pills will work for you. Shake a sugar shaker, what a thrill. Jeepers, I'm a sugar pill. Shake a sugar shaker, you can too. Sugar pills will work for you. Hello everyone, I'm Barbara Baxter. Welcome to the Sugar Pills Show. We're all about non-medical ways to feel your best, whether you're ill, well, or somewhere in between. Today's guest is Sandi Stonebraker, and I'm very excited to have her. She's going to tell us how she went from being raised in a dysfunctional family to becoming a very successful businesswoman, a performer, a community advocate, an artist, a writer, and a singer. She grew up in northern Indiana. She attended Cedarville College and Goshen College. She's lived in Colorado, North Carolina, Georgia, and Kentucky. She left work at Emory University School of Medicine to move to Covington, Kentucky, where she created Stoney's Gift and Frame Shop. She developed a substance abuse workshop that was given on the campus of St. Mary's College in South Bend, Indiana. She's the founder of We Folk Fest, the founder of Doors of Main Strasse Village. She's an expert at age-appropriate toys, and she has Stoney's Gift and Toy Shop, which was voted Best of Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky's Best Toy Shop. And she is a wonderful asset to the United States of America because she was born on the 4th of July. Welcome, Sandi.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm delighted to be here with you.
I am glad you're here because you're going to talk about something that is very, very important for people to know about, and that is going from a schizophrenic mother, an alcoholic father situation of growing up, and then becoming this very successful person, so successful, in fact, that later in the show, she and I are going to sing a duet. Woo! But first, let's hear about what it means to be an alcoholic. Is it just drinking too much, or?
Well, yes, it is. There's many definitions of alcoholism. With my father, he was the alcoholic that was absent. He wasn't a violent man, but he wasn't necessarily there for us.
Okay, and your mother was schizophrenic, and can you tell us what does schizophrenic mean?
It's all kinds of craziness, from hearing voices to thinking that, in her case, it was thinking that God told her to do things. It's a crazy world with not very good answers most of the time.
Oh, okay. So it's like just a totally unpredictable, unpredictable everything that your mother was doing. So it could be her actions, it could be her thoughts, it could be what she said. You just were, I would imagine, always having to walk on eggs with this situation.
It was a very confusing childhood and a painful childhood because as a young child I didn't really understand a lot of the things, and as I grew older I understood more. But it was tough.
And I was thinking, because Sandi and I had a chance to talk before the show, you might give us an example. I know you said that, for example, your junior high was very difficult. Can you tell us what was going on?
Well, I've always been a lover of music, and even as a toddler I would move to music, and of course I would get spanked for that because that was sinful. When I got into junior high, I signed up for the junior high orchestra to take viola, and it was one of the most thrilling things that I had done that far in my life. And there was the time when the 3 orchestras from the junior high joined with the high school orchestra to rehearse for a show, and we did Oklahoma. And I remember sitting there playing my viola with all my might and listening to Oklahoma when the wind comes charging down the plain, and just my blood just thrilling with the sound of the music. I never got to perform that show.
And why is that?
Because between the rehearsal and the performance, my mother insisted that I drop out of orchestra, and again it was because our orchestra leader was a sinful man.
So your mother thought the orchestra leader was a sinful man. I just want to get this straight so those who are listening and watching can understand this. And because she thought that, she said, "You're not going back. You're not going to do this show." That must have been, as much as you love music, and we can see it because when you talk, you just throw yourself into it. That must have been devastating for someone in junior high. And
Yeah, it was one of the most painful memories that I carry over from my childhood. It's still, I can still feel the emotion associated with that.
I'm so sorry, really.
Thank
I'm
you,
so sorry.
Barbara. Thank you.
And I believe there was also an instance with clothes that you could tell us.
Yes. As any junior high school girl can tell you, clothes are the all-important thing at that age. And I had gotten a part-time babysitting job and had saved my money and went shopping to Stevenson's store, which was the place to shop in Elkhart, Indiana, and bought some of those wonderful sweater and skirt outfits. And one day I came home and looked in my closet and everything was gone. Again, she really hid behind religion. God had told her to give away my clothes. And so I literally had the clothes that were on my back. The people from the church jumped in and helped supply me with a wardrobe.
I can't imagine, and I'm trying to imagine this, but I cannot imagine you walk home, maybe home from school, and there's nothing there. And she said, "Well, I gave it away."
Yeah.
Did your mother have this all of her life? Because I don't know if schizophrenia comes and goes or...
Well, they say that it develops around the age of 18 to 22. My mother was 23 when I was born. And she had it pretty much all of her life.
And how long did she live?
She lived until she was in her late 80s. She was in a nursing home for the last 25 years of her life, which is a long time. I think she was the longest standing resident. And actually she did better there because she was in a very controlled environment with medication and no decision making, no responsibilities. So her life actually got a lot better during that period of time.
I'm even wondering if some of the basic things like, was there food in your house, or did your mother do the food shopping? I mean, so you're going home to a schizophrenic mother, your father's not there due to alcoholism. What about some of those basic things like food? And
yeah, food was minimal. Sometimes we had plenty, other times we did not. She would punish me by withholding food. She would punish me by not allowing me to use the iron, which meant I had to go to school in wrinkled clothes. So yeah, some of the necessities, they were there sometimes, other times they were not.
wow, that's just we are listening to this, and yes, go ahead.
But in the midst of all this doom and gloom, and I know there are other people who have had childhoods like this, I always had this feeling, and to this day, I don't know where it came from, but that there was a brighter day, that I would survive, that I would get through this. I didn't know how, where, or why, but I always had that recurring theme. There's a
little
brighter
something
day.
that-
Yes.
Now, you went to college, and you told me earlier that this was largely due to a wonderful family. And tell us about someone saying to you, "You're not going out without your boots," and how that affected you.
Yes. So my best friend in high school, we also went to the same church. Actually, it was her father that tried to track down my clothes when my mother gave them away. But I would live with them off and on, depending on how things were at home. But one time when I was living with them, and it was bad outside, Dad Smoker, their last name was Smoker, said to me, "You're not leaving the house without your boots." And it literally brought tears to my eyes because people had not cared whether or not I had boots or a coat or gloves or anything. And to have somebody say that to me was so loving to me.
And overwhelming, I'm sure,
Yes.
because it would have been almost foreign to you to have somebody who cared enough to say you're not going outside without your boots on.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
And whereas so many of us are used to parents saying, you put your boots on, you know, zip up your jacket, those kinds of things. And wow. And then this family helped you go to college. Had you
Yes.
thought about college prior to?
I think I was so busy with day-to-day survival that to think about college was, you know, something that just, I was living one day at a time.
Okay.
And so Janie, my friend, went to college first. And after her first semester, we talked about it. And I have to say that my father did pay for my college. So they did not have that monetary issue, but they are the ones that encouraged me and got me there.
You. So when someone was saying to you, I mean, here's Sandi not thinking about college, she's thinking about day-to-day survival. All of a sudden somebody say, well, why don't you go to college? I mean, were you rather startled at the idea, or were you saying, yes, yippee, or?
I think I remember being very excited, and especially since my friend was already there because I missed her. And yeah, it was like a whole world, new world was opened up to me. It's like somebody had given me a fantastic gift.
And you went to 2 colleges, and what were you studying?
Elementary education.
Oh, good for you. Elementary education.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then something happened, and you had to quit college. Now,
Yeah.
tell us
So,
what happened.
The last year that I was in college, I actually transferred to Goshen College, which was near my hometown
So this is in Indiana?
in Indiana.
Okay.
My sister is 12 years younger than I am, and my mother ran away from home, and my sister was left with my father, and I was needed at home. So I left college and stayed at home with her, always thinking that I'd go back, but of course I never did.
It must have been sort of a double-edged sword, because you were concerned about your sister, and you knew you were the one who would have to be there for her.
Yes.
But on the other hand, here you were studying elementary education, you were in college, you were excited to be there. So here's another big whammy, and you went home, and then were you, like, I guess, the head of the household, because
Sort
your
of,
father
yeah.
was still...
I did the cleaning and the cooking, and yeah. And to be honest, I kind of enjoyed it. It was kind of fun. It was a different lifestyle, and yeah.
And your sister graduated high school?
She did.
And were you there throughout from her? She was 12 when you went home, is that
Right,
correct?
yes. Yeah.
And so you stayed at home and basically took care of house and sister
Yes, yes.
till she graduated.
She graduated high school. She sent me roses on her graduation.
Oh no,
Can
see,
I-
now you're making me choke
I know.
up.
Can I
Oh.
tell you the flood of tears? Yeah, yeah. With a card that said, "Thank you for all the hell we've been through together."
Oh,
I know.
oh,
I know.
all right. Well, we're both sitting here getting
I know.
teary-eyed, but
Yeah.
it's with joy. I mean,
Yeah.
we're happy
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
We're very happy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Now you.
So yeah, my sister went on to college.
She went to college. Okay.
Yeah, and she graduated. And,
Okay. Wow. Now,
okay.
okay, I'm afraid to even say what's next, but what did happen after that? Then you married, or you
I
had
married
a career?
and had my son Kevin, who was born premature. That marriage lasted a year because I was married to an abusive man.
All right, an abusive man, and I'm going to interrupt you for I'm going to interject here for 1
Okay.
second. I went online and I was looking things up because I knew Sandi was going to address this issue. The National Organization for Abused Women and Men is online, and it is a national organization. So if anyone is suffering from this same thing, you can go there and see where to go to get help. Now,
Yes.
let's get back to this. This was an abusive relationship. You're married to this man. You have a baby, and
in a town where I really don't have family there, don't have any long-term friends. We had friends, but they were new friends. And something happened that was the turning point for me. I had taken my son, who was, little 1-year-old, not barely one, and gone into the little town to the restaurant. And it just so happened that a guy that I knew in college came through that restaurant. And of course, he saw me, he sat down and talked to me, he bought me my breakfast, he pulled my chair out, and it was like my eureka, because all of a sudden I thought, this is how I used to be treated by men.
This is how you used to be treated. So
this
it
is
was
how I should be treated.
Even more important?
Yes. And so it started the wheels turning that I don't have to live like this. And to any woman out there who is living with abuse, I had a new baby, people I didn't know, very few financial resources, but I put my plan in place.
Okay.
And began to plan for my exit.
Okay. And there is something I found amusing because Sandi talked to me about this earlier. Tell us about what you asked your friend to do when you were leaving.
Well, my plan, I felt that I needed to leave without him knowing because I was afraid of him.
Okay.
And so I had packed my suitcase and put it in the trunk of the car that I thought I would have until he caught up with me. But at the last minute, he had invited some friends in for Sunday dinner. And I think there were 3 couples, so there were 6 of us. And I cooked a big chicken dinner, acting like nothing was wrong. And after dinner, I helped clean up the table. And then I said to Peggy, who was one of the wives, I said, I'm planning to leave my husband today. Could you finish cleaning up the kitchen?
You're worried about the kitchen and you're ready to... Well, you little domestic goddess, you. I mean, my goodness. Okay. Well, that's all right.
So, yeah.
Now, then there was, I want us to get into the importance of when you moved to Covington, but I believe that there was another marriage.
Yes.
Okay.
There was another marriage, and it was a wonderful marriage. And we were married for 12 years, and then the marriage ended. What's important to me about this marriage, there's a couple things that are important. I did not want the divorce. And as a matter of fact, I was so devastated that I thought, do I even want to live any longer? And just the other day, I was talking to a friend who is going through a separation, and she had said, I don't know what there is to live for, and I'm not sure I want to live any longer. And it came to me, I said to her, I felt that same way when my ex-husband left me. Look what I would have missed. Look at my life today. I would have missed all of this if I had ended it. So
yes, and we're going to get into this of what you missed. You moved to Covington, Kentucky, and you opened up your shop with the framing. Now, why did you pick Covington, and what made you say, I can open up a shop, I can do this?
I'm not sure I have the right answer to that question.
Oh, good. I love it. Okay.
I became a grandmother, and I was 13 hours away living in Atlanta. I wanted to be closer to my grandchild, so I knew I wanted to move further north. I didn't want to go all the way to northern Indiana because it's cold. So, I don't know. I remembered that I loved Cincinnati, and I came up and started looking around and actually saw the house that I bought on the market and made an offer contingent upon seeing it on the inside.
And how was the inside?
Well, it was okay. It wasn't great. But, I knew that it was right. I knew that that's what I wanted to do.
It felt right.
It felt right.
And then you open up your shop in your home.
Yes.
Okay.
I live upstairs on the 2nd floor. My shop is on the ground floor. So
Okay.
it makes for a really good commute.
And she does it in Covington, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things you said was your universe began to smile.
Yes.
And some things began to happen for Sandi. And can you tell us a little bit about what these things are?
Well, Barbara's being very modest because Barbara was a major turning point in things happening for me. I know. Do this to you. She asked me to join the Sugar Pills. And you all know about the Sugar Pills.
No, they don't.
They don't know about the Sugar Pills. It's a wonderful all-girl ukulele band. And we perform and entertain, but we all do, part of what we do is to talk about our challenges in life.
It's an outreach for the Sugar Pills non-medical ways to feel your best. That's what the band is.
Thank you, Barb. So, first of all, she asked me to join. I mean, I was so thrilled to be involved in music, to meet some wonderful people, to feel a part of this group. And secondly, she challenged me to talk about my past in a way that I hadn't. And that experience was so freeing for me. Because I'd kept all this pretty much inside. I mean, some people knew that I grew up in a dysfunctional family, but to really go inside and think about it and bring it all up again, and then to talk about it in a public forum. What I realized from that experience, thank you, Barbara, is that I do have a story to tell, and it's a story that may touch the lives of others. I may have some things to tell, to say that might resonate with someone and make a difference in their life.
So you felt liberated. You began to talk about your life.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I have seen Sandi when she's been in front of people when the Sugar Pills have performed, and she stands up there and each one of the Sugar Pills tells their story. And Sandi just holds the audience because she tells it like she's telling us right now. And I'm thrilled for you because I think since I have met you, you've just blossomed like a beautiful flower opening up. And she has sung a solo in church. Oh yes, let's hear about that.
Okay, I decided that I wanted to go outside my comfort zone, and so I accompanied myself. Well, let me first mention this because I had gone through a phase which was very unlike something that would happen to me, but for a period of time, probably just months, I had lost my sense of hope and I've always believed that things will turn out. I've always had a positive attitude, and that just kind of faded away for a short period of time. I don't know why it came. I don't know how I moved beyond it, but when I did is when I wanted to do the solo in church, and so I talked about hope because I realized after going through that experience what an important, powerful word it really is. And so I sang His Eye is on the Sparrow, which is all about being cared for by God or the universe.
Wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes.
And Sandi is now putting together her own cabaret performance. I'm so excited, and it's in the beginning stages, but she's putting together a cabaret performance, and she's going to do her own singing and tell her story. And
Yes.
we are going to play our ukuleles for a,
Yes.
let's
All right.
get our ukes out.
Okay.
We Sugar Pills. We're just going to sing the part about the Shake Your Sugar Shaker.
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Shake your sugar shaker, what a thrill. Jeepers, I'm a sugar pill. Shake your sugar shaker, you can too. Sugar pills will work for you.
Woo!
Oh.
Now,
Barbara.
Sandi, I think one of the things that's really important is that we have you perhaps give a brief message to everyone who's watching, and I'm just going to be quiet here and let you look right into that camera and tell people.
Just a couple things that I think are very important to remember. One is to live in gratitude. We have a lot of things to be grateful for. To always have a positive attitude. The energy that we put into the universe comes back to us. So by putting positive energy out there, it becomes a habit, actually, and intensifies. I have a little mantra that works for me that I've said over and over again many times when days were tough. One step at a time. That's how I will get where I'm going. I am being led each step of the way.
Sandi, I want to give you a copy of the Sugar Pills Non-Medical Ways to Feel Your Best, and I want everyone to know that Sandi contributed to this book, and she wrote a wonderful article for it. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
To all of us, I'm including myself, aren't we fortunate to have heard Sandi today and hear her talk about going from a dysfunctional childhood to a successful, loving, warm, giving, community outreaching individual who is doing things to help others. What about you? Do you have a story to tell? I'll bet you do, and I'll bet there'll be people who would benefit from hearing your story. This is Barbara Baxter saying goodbye from the Sugar Pills. I love you.
Shake a sugar shaker, what a thrill. Jeepers, I'm a sugar pill. Shake a sugar shaker, you can too. Sugar pills will work for you. Shake a sugar shaker, what a thrill. Jeepers, you're a sugar pill. Shake a sugar shaker, you can too. Sugar pills will work for you.